Start, I'll be covering the Villanova basketball recruits, which consists of 5-star Brian Antoine, 5-star Jeremiah Robinson Earl, 4-star Justin Moore, and 4-star 2019 class, Villanova has landed 2 McDonald's All-Americans in Brian Antoine and Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Antoine being a New Jersey native of Rainey High School, and Robinson Earl being the starting power forward for the IMG Ascenders in Florida. Justin Moore from New Jersey plays at Matha Catholic, and Eric Dixon lives 30 minutes from Villanova, plays at Abington High School in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. Just recently, Brian Antoine declared for Villanova. He was hoping to land Scotty Lewis, his teammate at Rainey High School, who ended up deciding to go to Florida, but that's out of his control. Robinson Earl, another recent commit within the last 2 to 3 months. There are a couple kids at Villanova a couple kids at IMG that could potentially swing to Villanova, such as Noah Farrakhan, 2020 point guard. I know he has an offer from Villanova. Other players, Mikhail Brown-Jones turned down Villanova to go to Penn State. A bunch of other players have had Villanova in their top 5, such as Isaiah Wong, who is another local kid to Villanova, goes to Monsignor Bonner. He turned down Villanova and is going to play at Miami. Moore has led DeMatha Catholic this year to being ranked, I think, 8th in the country right now for high schools, just behind Oak Hill Academy and IMG, who I think is 3rd. Eric Dixon just surpassed 2,000 points at Abington High School, so congrats to Eric. Eric was ranked as the number 10 power forward before the McDonald's decisions were made. Now he's ranked as the number 18 power forward. I think he's fallen to 83rd in the country, and Justin Moore has fallen from 52nd to 55th. Antoine fell from 13 to 14 when they added LaMelo Ball into the ESPN Top 100 Seniors, so he dropped 1 rank, and I think Jeremiah Robinson Earl only lost 1 when they added LaMelo. I think he fell from 19 to 20. But that was about it for the drops. The point I wanted to bring up about Villanova's recruiting this year is that they landed 50% of the players that they recruited in the class of 2019. Jay Wright only offered 8 players of the class of 2019. Those 8, or 9, my apologies, 9. Cole Anthony, Josh Green, Nico Mannion, Scotty Lewis, Brian Antoine, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, Justin Moore, Eric Dixon, and Isaiah Wong. Cole Anthony has cut Villanova from his list of 12. He's down to 6, but does have Georgetown on his list. Josh Green and Nico Mannion, both top 10 players, committed to Arizona. Scotty Lewis, a top 15 player, committed to Florida. And Isaiah Wong, a top 100 player, committed to the University of Miami. So Villanova has landed 4 of the 9 players that they offered, which is pretty good considering John Calipari in Kentucky offered 25 players in the class of 2019 and have only landed 3 so far, but have 2 considering Kentucky, which has the potential to be 5 recruits out of 25. But I'd take 4 out of 9 over 5. With those 4 players that Jay Wright has landed in the class of 2019, Villanova has the 3rd ranked recruiting class, only behind Arizona and Louisville. Arizona landed 2 of the top 10 players, and Louisville landed 3 of the top 25, including 2 McDonald's All-Americans. In total, the Big East has 3 schools on the top 25 recruiting class list. That's Villanova at 3, Xavier at 19, and DePaul at 23, which was a surprise to me because they usually don't get many recruits. This year, they landed 2 top 100 players in Romeo Weems and Marquise Jacobs, along with another player who was unranked. Who we'll be discussing is the Butler Bulldogs, who have landed 2 recruits in the class 19, which is Khalif Battle of Trenton Catholic Academy and John Michael Malloy of Carmel High in Indiana. Khalif is ranked 78th in the ESPN Top 100, and John Michael Malloy is unranked. Khalif has been instrumental in the success of the Trenton Catholic Academy in this year's play in the Catholic League in New Jersey. They've had multiple tough games where he has led the team in scoring, along with Michael Malloy, who I did some research on, who's averaging just above 22 points a game for Carmel High. Khalif has an older brother, Tyus, who plays at the University of Syracuse, so he's a lot of mentorship and has a lot of looking up to do when it comes to Tyus, so he's been very good at guiding him, helping him get to the point of where he is today. Butler all around doesn't have that strong of a recruiting class compared to Villanova. having only landed one top 100 player compared to Villanova's 4. This recruiting class surprises me a lot for DePaul because usually they don't land high-value targets like Marquise Jacobs and Romeo Weems. They usually get more guys like Oscar Lopez who are unranked, under the radar, may only have a few major Division I offers. But it was a surprise to me when they landed a top 50 recruit in Romeo Weems and then another top 100 recruit in Marquise Jacobs. But after doing some digging, I found out that Romeo Weems and Marquise Jacobs have done a lot of talking, and after Weems committed, he tried to get Jacobs to come play alongside him, using the fact that Marquise Jacobs' older brother plays at DePaul to persuade him into playing alongside his brother as well as playing alongside Romeo Weems. There will be a tough force alongside Max Strus next year at DePaul. They could become a good team in the Big East and compete, but I still don't think anybody is near the quality of a team as Villanova is right Coming off a big recruiting year is Georgetown, who landed Mac McClung and James Akinjo, who have been key roles in the Hoyas' success this year. But so far, they've only landed one ranked player, which is Malcolm Wilson, but they also landed Timothy Igahafi, who is unranked. But they have the potential to land the number one point guard in Cole Anthony. Cole is a second-ranked player and is a 5-star in the class of 2019. He is arguably regarded as the number one player, but not ranked number one. He's cut his list down to 6 teams, which contains Georgetown. He's taken 4 visits to those 6 schools. He took a visit to Wake Forest, Notre Dame, Georgetown, and North Carolina. The other 2 teams on his list are Miami and Marquette, who surprisingly only has one recruit in Dexter Canyo. But they don't really seem like they need to do much building after this year with the help of the Hauser brothers and Marcus Howard, who have built arguably a powerhouse at Marquette. Howard is arguably the best player in the Big East, averaging nearly 30 points a game right now. He's had a 51-point game and a bunch of 45-point school did a great job recruiting last year was Providence, who landed A.J. Reeves, who has been a huge role player for them this year. Although he's battling injuries, he's been a great player for them, averaging 15 points a game this year. They also, in the class of 2019, are bringing in Greg Gant, who is ranked as the 67th player in the class of 2019 by ESPN. He has a grade of 86 and is a 6'7" power forward from Trinity Christian High School in North Carolina. Thank you for watching the second edition of the Big East Hoops 2018 video series or podcast. Make sure to stay tuned and check out my Instagram and Twitter at Big East Hoops 2018 on Twitter and at Big East Hoops 2019 on Instagram. See ya.